What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy Monday. I hope that you had a great weekend and that you had a great Monday. So this is my usual time of the week to, do a vlog. I am literally how I look when I'm at home. Just for those who may be Complex Simplicity new watchers, viewers, readers, listeners, I a lot of times am not all done up and glamorized while I'm recording, because a big part of my movement is about embracing our flaws, loving the skin that we're in, loving who we are, knowing who we are, all those kinds of things. And so I feel like if I'm going to talk about such subject matter, right, and talk at length and be so passionate about it, I need to kind of lead by example and kind of walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it, and be deglamorized at times. Now, let's not get anything twisted or misconstrued. Yes, there are gonna still be some times where your girl may have on full makeup, or I may have on a red lip, or I may be dressed because I came home from work, or I went out that weekend and I'm on camera how I would normally look when I step out the house. But also, this is how I look too, because when I go to the grocery store, when I'm local in my town on nights or during the weekends, I don't wear eyeliner. I pretty much never wear foundation, only for special occasions. And I'm definitely not wearing any lipstick or anything like that. I'm just myself. And so I like to embrace this side of me. And yes, it could be a little plain Jane, or maybe that's why I don't have a whole lot of followers on social media, because I don't look glamorized. But for me, it's important for my movement to be authentic and true and vulnerable and transparent, and show that I do truly love the skin that I'm in, flaws and all. This is big boob girl problems when you have the indentations on your arms from your bra. Like, it is what it is. I walk around the house in like this tube top and my panties kind of thing, right? You won't see all that, but at least you see that I'm appropriately dressed at this point. Sometimes I'll have earrings, sometimes I won't. So it just all depends. So that's the explanation for today. Mondays I'm off. Sundays and Mondays are like my weekends. I work Tuesday through Saturday. And so all I did today, other than do another load or two of laundry, straighten up part of my house, I went to my sprint class, because I am definitely on a fitness journey, and I have been on this fitness journey for, I would say, 4 years now. And so after I work out, I'm relaxed. I came home, I ate a little something, I went back out to pick something up, came back home, watched a little TV, and then just showered and got myself together in preparation for tomorrow, and of course to do this vlog for you. So that's kind of the synopsis for those of you who may be wondering, why does this girl never look like Bam on camera like a lot of vloggers do? I get it for those who are in the beauty industry. There are a lot of vloggers, or influencers I should say, that I follow, and they often say that you should look your best on camera, and I get it, but I just feel like for my movement, for the Complex Simplicity movement, I'm okay with stripping it down to my natural state. I'm okay with being vulnerable with you all. Listen, at the end of the day, I love me, I'm happy with me, and I got a husband who loves me, right? So don't believe the hype, y'all, that you always got to look 100% on. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Yes, take care of yourself, and let's not get anything twisted. People who know me, my family, my friends will tell you I am into fashion. I do dress and whatnot. What is going on with my computer? It's acting wonky. I do dress myself and present myself in a good way. I'm all about that sexy, but when I'm home, and I'm okay with looking like this. There's some women who are married and they're like, I'll never look like this, in front of my husband, or like they're afraid to like be their stripped down selves. Like, no, he sees all of this all the time. I'm just trying to understand what the heck is going on with my computer. Sorry. The heck? Sorry, y'all. Okay. So it's funny. What I wanted to talk about today first things first, and I'll probably do a separate, like a blog about it. I'm always on the prowl. I'm always fascinated with choreographers. My judge a lot of times are choreographers they embrace their sexy. They do sexy dance moves. It's cool if you got a little hood in it. You know, you got that hip hop edge. I'm all for it. I'm totally here, you know, I'm always reposting, you know, the choreographers that kind of draw my eye or get my attention. And you know, when I'm on social media, instead of being in everybody else's business and on everybody else's pages about what's going on with them, I'm often like looking for dancing choreographers. I'm often looking, you know, for artists. Like a big part of my social media search, aside from my own posts for Complex Simplicity, a lot of times is looking for dancers, singers, and just new talent that I wasn't aware of. Because in my mind, one of my dreams is to be able to extend this platform that I'm building to where I can actually interview interesting people. I'm attracted to creative people. I'm attracted to creative people who have drive, who have motivation, who put that work in, who have that confidence, who are humble, but they still know I get busy out here, right? And so this also kind of goes along with what I want to discuss today. So yeah, shout out to my friend Marquita who put me on to another choreographer. Her name is Aaliyah Janelle. The crazy thing is, one of my favorite choreographers that I stumbled on a few months ago, her name is Chris Gale. And I put a couple of posts about her on my personal social media, as well as the social media for my website. And which is at Complex Simplicity 09. Check it out. And so the crazy thing is, one of my favorite choreographers and one of my girlfriend's favorite choreographers, they know each other, and my favorite choreographer goes to my girlfriend's favorite choreographer's classes. So Chris Gale, who's one of my favorite choreographers, goes to Aaliyah Janelle, who I just kind of really found out about, goes to her actual classes. And the crazy thing is, I really didn't just find out about Aaliyah Janelle because through Chris Gale, who I was following and watching, I would see her at Aaliyah Janelle's classes. So when I finally gave Aaliyah Janelle's Instagram page, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I know who this chick is. My favorite choreographer goes to her classes. So that dancing world is a small world. Most of them, a lot of them are based out in California. The good thing is a lot of them are starting to do their tours where they go to different cities within the United States, and they do actually come to New York. New York is always on their radar, and I'm a New Yorker, shout out to that. Not that, you know, I would love to go to the classes to try it. I'm not that skilled level of a dancer, so I wouldn't expect to be able to do all these acrobatics and splits and all kinds of different moves that these young, amazing ladies do. For me, I kind of would want to more so go to feel the energy and to film and to get a chance to maybe have an opportunity to have a conversation with them. Like I said, I'm attracted to women particularly who are about that go get it, go after what you want life, you know, and they're grinding. So shout outs to Chris Gale, shout outs to Aaliyah Janelle, and shout outs to my girlfriend for further putting me on, even though I actually found out I knew about this choreographer anyway, but still, either way, it's good. I think her extra putting me on nudged me to check out her page more. So of course, you know, this week, probably at some point, I will post some clips on at Complex Simplicity 09's Instagram page, regarding some of my favorite routines that they posted. And what I really want to talk about today is a clip I stumbled on Instagram from Will Smith. I follow Ty Trone, who I've said before, he is and was one of Beyonce's stylists, worked with Tina Lawson, Mama Tina Lawson, for several years, and Beyonce for several years. And I love his Instagram page because it's so motivational, positive, and encouraging, which is a huge part of what Complex Simplicity is all about. And I find myself reposting a lot of his thoughts on the Complex Simplicity Instagram page. And he actually had a clip of Will Smith today saying pretty much to be real aware and sure of the people you keep around you, especially when you're kind of like in the mindset of the young ladies who are choreographers that I was just referring to. When you're out here and you're really trying to grow, you're really trying to make it happen, you're pursuing your dreams, your passions, you're like getting your entrepreneurship on. It takes real gall and balls, as I often say, to do that, to put yourself out there for rejection, to put yourself out there for scrutiny, and overall putting your art out there. It's not an easy thing. Something as simple as me on camera, looking the way I look, it's not an easy thing to just put yourself out there, right? You open up yourself for a whole bunch of critique. And what Will Smith was saying is, for the people who are in your inner circle, it's so important to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are going to be encouraging. They're going to want to see you win. They're going to want to see you shine. They're going to champion your cause, so to speak, as opposed to surrounding yourself with people who low-key are not happy for you and would want to sabotage all the good things that come your way, who are low-key, as I always say, not wishing you well. Just be real aware of who you keep in your circle, especially as you're grinding and building. Like, I've learned a lot in different phases of my life when it comes to the circle around me. I learned a lot when we were all young and dumb. I learned a lot when I was getting married. I learned a lot about the people who were around me. It was obvious and very clear those who were genuinely happy for me from those who weren't. I learned a lot when I moved. My husband and I moved from more of the city, urban area of New York to more of a suburban, I'm gonna say bougie town, but totally different demographic, so to speak. I learned a lot about the circle around me, because at that point it takes more effort, right, to come and rock with your girl. It takes more effort for us to really be able to see one another. But also when you progress in a way where it's like, it's physical progression, right? So my husband and I moving from our one bedroom to a home, that's physical progression that you can see, that you can touch, that you can feel, right? And I learned a lot about my circle when that happened. I learned a lot about my circle when I started this movement of complex simplicity, and and I continue to learn a lot, and that's where I am now, and I know, and I've acknowledged, and I understand how I'm always kind of watchful, because I know that everybody doesn't have the capacity to be happy for me. And I recognize that as I continue to grow and evolve and progress and build complex simplicity and all the other blessings that have my name on it, so to speak, I recognize that not everybody who's even in my circle now may be along for the ride for those things, I still feel like there may be people in my circle who struggle with 100% fully being happy for me. And it's not that I have all this like over the top crazy success happening. I feel like I have the normal things in life that are necessary and that promote happiness from within and just overall. Like I say, I do have a lot of girlfriends who are still single and they would love to be married, and they're waiting to figure out that situation, right, when love is going to come find them. I also have girlfriends who are people in my inner circle who haven't fully gained independency the way I have. I've lived on my own for several years before I got married, and then my husband and I getting married, not that we like balling, but we're doing all right, thank God. And so I know that my situation is very different from a lot of my inner circle, so to speak. And so even just, I think me having the confidence to build complex simplicity for the past 2 years and, put out music, and working on my visual book that's going to drop very soon. These are things that I know maybe some in my inner circle are 100% happy for me, like, oh my gosh, it's so dope, I'm riding out with you. And then I do feel like there are still those few who may low-key be like, damn, why is how is she able to do these things, or the confidence that she has to do these things, or maybe even what they feel the resources I have to do these things. So I'm aware of that. And as I continue to build, like I was saying, I realize that even now, the people who are in my life, unfortunately, everyone still may not really be able to come along for the ride, you know. I would love for all of them to, because I truly love them, but I do also recognize the reality of the situation is that not everybody, even unfortunately people in your circle, not everybody has the wherewithal to be 100% happy for you. Aside from that, I want to have people around me who are going to push me to be my best self. I've been talking about this more than not, whether it's on my Instagram posts or if it's on vlogs. Because I feel like I strive to be the friend and the loved one to the people in my circle, inner circle, that will be there to champion you, be happy for you, support you, and also lovingly push you towards your greatness, right? And even if that means having the uncomfortable conversation, or, you know, saying, hey friend, I love you, but did you look at it this way? Like, I'm willing to do that, because I feel like in friendships at some point we should be pushing each other to be great. I don't know that we should just be sitting stagnant and doing the same shit year after year after year after year. And then when we look back and we're damn near in our 40s, it's like, why are we doing the same shit? Like, I don't think, I know that's not what I want. I don't know about y'all, but that's not what Chanel Casimir wants. I want people around me who are going to be like, Chanel, did you ever think about doing this with your brand that you're building? Or, hey, Chanel, I think what you're doing is dope. I think I may be able to connect you to someone, or even if it's just the moral support, or, hey, Chanel, girl, I know you're all about being stripped down, but maybe it's about the time you've been doing this for 2 years that you are a little bit more glammed up. Whether I agree or disagree, I think that it's important to have people in your corner who are going to be there to help to push you to grow. We should be pushing each other to grow. It shouldn't be where we're all doing the same things in the same way year after year after year after year. And personal growth does not always have to include relationships and marriage. Those are beautiful things, don't get me wrong. But I feel like it could be career stuff. It could just be stuff within, you know, with your friends, in your loved ones. There's some level of an end that they have as far as things that we may go through in our lives, right? And so if you know that I'm struggling with a particular thing, I think it's great if my loved one, my friend, can say, hey, what's going on? You know, I know you've been trying to work on being more confident, or work on building your self-esteem. You know, I love you, and I say this out of love, but sometimes I feel like the type of relationships you're going after are, you know, these are not people who are going to really help you see your worth and understand your worth. You know what I'm saying? You're going after people who are only going to make things worse, or I feel like you're doing self-sabotaging or self-harming behaviors. You know, why are you living life on the edge, making dangerous decisions that could change the quality of your life? Like, I feel like if we really truly love each other and consider one another to be loved ones, we should be able to have those honest conversations. To me, it's all under the umbrella of pushing each other towards our greatness. And to live the best life that we can, because at the end of the day, as I always say, life is uber short, y'all. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know when it's my time to meet my maker. And so there is no time to waste as far as just doing the same thing over and over and over again, and not trying to grow in life, not trying to set positive goals for ourselves, not trying to achieve these goals, to work hard, to make our dreams come true. Like, we only have one life to live. We're not like cats. You know how they got that myth out there, cats have 9 lives. That's not what it is for humans, you know? And so while we're here on this earth, I think it's important to be aware of that. And so whatever ventures, endeavors, life goals, huge things that we want for ourselves, it's important to know who you have around you, because you'll be surprised. Energy, man, energy can mess things up for you out here. Like, I've witnessed how one person walks in a room and the whole energy shifts. There's evil energies out here, dark energies, and there's light and positive energies. There are energies where when people come in, the whole room is like, argh! where everything becomes tense and like uncomfortable. So it's for us to be aware of who's around us, what energy are they exuding out here. Like, you know, I don't need you in my circle if you wishing me wrong, you know? And I feel like God, this is why to me it's so necessary to hold on to my faith in God. I feel like God always will reveal at some point in time when someone's got to go, when their ticket has expired, because they can end up really doing detrimental things. I've faced that in my life where someone who we weren't that close, we weren't the best of friends, we were peoples, you know, we were involved in a particular art form together, but they did something real shady, and that could have been very detrimental, like borderline evil detrimental. And so at that point, as much as I probably wouldn't have cut the ties with this person if a certain situation didn't happen, at that point, God was like, nope, this person's got to go, and you got to keep it pushing, because this person's going to be the type that'll cause problems because they're not happy for you. They don't have the ability to be happy for you. And like I said, there's that dark side thing there too. And this is another thing, folks. I'm a Christian, absolutely. But let's be very clear. Everyone who says that they are Christians are not, okay? There are a lot of church-going folk out here who have dark, evil energy within them. You have to know who those people are. You got to be able to see the forest from the trees. I think it's important to be able to understand the temperatures with people, understand the temperatures of the rooms that you're going in, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not about being in these dark, evil-like environments. And I don't care if these are people from church. I don't care if their parents have some level of high position within the church. I don't even care if they have position in the church. I go off of what I feel and what the Spirit of God tells me. So just be careful out here, y'all. You know, we all, I know, have our ambition. We all have certain things that we want to accomplish in our life, you know, whether it's being a parent, being married and being a parent, whether it's, you know, career stuff, whether it's just personal work from within, mental health stuff. We all have certain goals in our lives, and just know who you have around you. Don't have nobody around you that's a dream killer, or they a flat out hater, or they're just straight jealous and envious of you. That stuff is dangerous. Like, get that toxicity away. It's funny, my best friend, Marina Bina, shout outs to her. She had sent me a quote, or tagged me to a quote on Facebook the other day that pretty much said, when you're working to achieve greatness and you're plugging away at your, I'm paraphrasing, but when you're plugging away at your goals and your dreams, just know that your circle of friends is going to get smaller. Because not everybody wants to see you win, right? When we're all mediocre out here, living mediocre lives, ain't much changing, we're still in the same situations we were in 5 years ago, everybody's comfortable. Love is love. Let's hang out. Let's do this. Yay. But the moment you start growing out here and you start really trying to make things happen, and you're moving and you're shaking and you're building and you're working and you're plugging away at your goals, that's when a lot of people may be like uncomfortable. They may start showing that shady side. They may start being silent, low-key dream killers, jealous of whatever it is that you're doing. Just be aware of that. And so when my girlfriend sent that to me, I'm like, yep, I've seen this thought before. I've spoken about it before. I 100% agree. And that's why I decided, after seeing that clip on Saturday, or what my girlfriend tagged me to on Saturday on Facebook, and then after seeing what Tytrone reposted with Will Smith, I'm like, I gotta talk about this one more again, you know, off and on. I'll always discuss these kinds of topics because I think that it's something that a lot of us live with day to day, right? Or will experience at some point in our lives. I also posted or reposted another thought from Tytrone today that pretty much states, because a lot of times we feel like in life, in order for us to achieve our goals, you have to be the most talented. You have to be the most educated. You got to have all these degrees. In some cases, these things are essential, right? But when God has purposed for you to do something in particular, it doesn't matter about your talent level and it doesn't matter about your education. Whatever is purposed for you to do on this earth is what is going to happen. At least that's what I believe. And that encouraged my own spirit and soul today, because this world today, this day and age, I feel like everything is so highly saturated from how everybody wants to look, which I discussed on the most recent Candid Talk with Chanel. Did you check that out? Check it out after you finish watching this vlog. So it's like everybody, it seems like, wants to look the same, do the same things, wants the same attention, wants to take the same route other people take to get to where they are. It's almost like nobody wants to go left and do their own thing, or very few people do. I'm always the girl that goes left, hence not feeling pressured on camera to look a certain way, or not feeling pressured to present my content in a certain way to be uber ratchet to get people's attention. Like when everybody goes right, Chanel goes left, right? But even then, sometimes if I'm being honest, I can still feel like, damn, will complex simplicity ever really get out there and get the awareness, It's been hard for my numbers on social media to increase. But what I also have to say is, my website numbers are still pretty damn good, and so I try to remind myself, social media is one piece of the pie, Chanel. Yes, it's how you reach a lot of people, but at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie that are on the website, and that's really what I want. My social media, my Instagram, my Facebook page is a vehicle to get you to come to this page, for you to come to the website. And so the fact that my website numbers continue to be pretty good tells me whoever it is that rocks with your girl, they just go straight to complexsimplicity.com, and I'm for that, I'm with that. So I try not to let social media and what society tells us when it comes to entrepreneurship on social media dictate everything that I do. I still want things to be authentic and real to who I am. Not that I can't take pointers to improve certain things, but I try not to get so hung up on numbers and hung up on attention. Yes, I do need a certain level of attention to gain awareness, but whatever is to come is going to come, regardless of whatever God wants to do with complex simplicity is going to happen. And so that encouraged my heart and soul, and hopefully it encouraged others out there, and even you, right? So please don't feel discouraged thinking that, in order for you to achieve your dreams or do the things that you want to do, you have to be like everybody else. You have to be uber talented and uber educated or whatever. Whatever your purpose is what is going to happen. Just walk in that purpose. That's what I'm learning. Just walk in it, even when it doesn't make sense. Walk in it. Even when I was talking about the choreographers, I was, watching a lot of their videos today, and I'm like, even in the dance world, things are so oversaturated. Everybody's moves are so similar. It's like, how does one kind of stand out? It's so difficult. Like everything in entertainment is so overly saturated. It's crazy. The only thing I could say is stick to being you. Do you. Don't try to be like everybody else out here doing everything how everybody else does it. Stick to your aesthetic and what's organically true to you. And that's going to be what makes someone like me say, oh, let me check out this person's page. Oh, let me go to their YouTube. Oh, let me go to their website. You know what I'm saying? It's real out here, folks. I know, I get it. I'm always trying to mastermind different things. What I'm so excited about is my visual book, because I feel like this is something that's never been done, and that I'm kind of like on the cusp of cutting edge right now, which is why I need to figure out a way to like patent this bad boy before someone else with more resources than me comes along and does it on a higher scale and tries to take ownership of it. Like, no, your girl Chanel did this first, right? But really, it's me telling my story. It's really called The Complex Simplicity of Me, even though I end up saying The Complex Simplicity of Chanel Casimir. But the name of the book is How I've Been Able to Remain Emotionally Balanced in a Dysfunctional World. And I wanted to do this visual book because it makes more sense for the brand I'm building. Everything that I do is me on camera kind of talking and relaying and expressing and connecting with you. So to just have an audio or to just have a written version, I thought it was cool, but I felt like it would be better if I was like on camera telling my story. So I'm literally on camera, chapter 1, telling my story. And these are things that different stories I've never shared on the website. So don't be fearful of, oh, I'm not going to spend money to get that because I could just go on her website and just watch her vlogs. No, I'm telling kind of like parts of my life story, which is different. On my website, I'm giving my perspective on a myriad of topics, and I may share things about my life here and there. But this book really is me discussing how I pretty much have grown and am continuing to grow into the young lady that I am and who I'm becoming. And it has a lot to do with my childhood. It has a lot to do with my upbringing. It has a lot to do with certain experiences that I went through in my life that have shaped and molded me to be who I am thus far. I feel like a lot of times we hear people's stories who have gone through some craziness and some unfortunate things, which we still need to hear those stories. But I feel like there's another avenue, another spectrum on the opposite end that would be helpful to hear from. I don't know that everyone has to go through the worst of the worst of the worst to have a story that could be impactful and help other people. I've had an amazing childhood. I've been vocal about that on this website for the 2 years that I've had it, right? But I do feel like all of the positive experiences that I had growing up is what helped me to be who I am today. And so I think, yes, we have a need for those who've gone through some horrible things to share their story of how they've grown and come from the worst of the worst and built strength of character and turned their lives around. But it's also important to hear from those of us who had a great upbringing and who still made conscious decisions to do well and to do positive things for themselves within their lives. I think we need to hear both sides and even a story in the middle. And so I'm just here to share my story. A lot of times I feel like a lot of people don't relate to me fully, even my own friends, I feel sometimes, because we all have had different upbringings and different experiences. And maybe even to them, the people that know me, kind of watching me tell my story and hearing me tell my story may even connect some dots for them that they never knew about me before. So hopefully it's out here to help. It'll help someone and touch someone and maybe just make you say, I didn't quite think about those things in that way. And I think that a lot of times we tend to forget as adults that everything stems from our childhoods. A lot of us don't really like to think and sit and remember and really connect the dots with things that we experienced in our childhoods. Once you start connecting the dots from childhood till now, I think we'd have more of a sense of how and why we are the way we are today. And so my book talks a lot about that. I can connect the dots as to why I am the way I am today from the time I was a child, a baby, a toddler. I can connect those dots up until now. And like I said, I think a lot of us adults don't do that. We tend to either blame other people for some of our not so good choices, or some of us just don't. We're just oblivious to how everything is connected. And so it's a really cool project that I've been working on. I had so much fun filming it, and it's in the editing phase right now. I cannot wait until it's ready to drop. So you have to continue to come to ComplexSimplicity.com, as well as my Instagram page at ComplexSimplicity09, as well as my Facebook page, Complex Simplicity, so you know when this thing is about to drop. Y'all, I really would appreciate your support in this. There's so many other cool projects that I'm already masterminding right now for Complex Simplicity. It's not even funny. And so your girl's out here grinding and working, and this is why I need people around me who are like-minded in some way. We don't have to agree on everything, like I discussed in the last vlog. We don't have to have a groupthink mentality, but I want to surround myself with people who are grinding and trying to do them too. You know what I'm saying? That helps us to fuel one another, supporting each other and just seeing how hard one another is working and how balls to the wall we are. I think that that's only going to help us. And so I just wanted to kind of briefly talk about that. So know who you got in your corner, in your circle. You know, be able to see the forest from the trees, as I always say. Be able to tell who's really out here championing. Oh, you on, rooting for you. Who's really out here, like, you know, holding it down for you. Who's loyal. Who's genuinely happy for you. Know who these people are, right? Those are the people you continue to keep around you. Those are the people, if you ever hit it big, you employ or you help change their lives as well. The people that have been in the trenches with you is so important. And the ones who are just dead weight and low-key hating, let them fall by the wayside. We ain't got no time for them games and that kind of energy. Know that energy that you got around you too, y'all. Know who's low-key jealous of you. So important. But anyway, it's been about 34 minutes and 53 seconds. So I will kind of back out. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Continue to head to ComplexedSimplicity.com. And until next time.